That is just so bright. I was squinting so much in the last episode. Hello, my name is Gabe, and this is Fresno Music Radar.
Fresno Music Radar.
This episode features Infinite Vacation's hour-and-a-half-long album, Contemporary Experiences. First and foremost, while I enjoyed some aspects of this LP, unfortunately I can't say that I enjoyed it all the way through. The man behind the curtain, Emiliano Montano, has some good ideas right out of the gate of the album, but as I went through the track list, listening to every song all the way through, taking notes, I started to notice a lot of patterns that bothered me. Speaking of going through the track list, I can't talk about every individual song on this album for two reasons. Reason one being there are 23 non-bonus tracks on this LP. Reason number two is a lot of the tracks sound really similar to each other. Not all of them, but a good amount. The first track, Stay, was actually really fun. The guitars interacted really well with the drums, and the vocal lines didn't really step over any boundaries that would have made it unlikable for me. Quickly following the first track, though, are these super empty and repetitive chord progressions washed out with reverb. The reverb just drowns out the drums and generally is caking mud into the space. The vocals also seem to rise and fall every track, going from decent to sounding kind of lazy, up to really above decent, and then back down to really lazy, etc. Another gripe I had going through the album was the lyrics were so distractingly meaningless to me. I found that my eyes and ears would fatigue from reading through and hearing baseless whining and pining for this secondary character that's probably living their own life, has moved on, and is progressing. Whereas the main character of the album, in this case, I guess Emiliano, stagnates and keeps dwelling on how much they miss this secondary character that keeps reoccurring in the lyrics. On track number 5, I Wanna Be With You, Emiliano actually repeats 24 times that line, I wanna be with you. Toward the end, Emiliano even screams the line, which creates really jarring dynamics and clipping distortion. The lyrics continued to bother me and distract me, but I'm going to take a break from the negatives, because there are actually some things that I do like. In track 6, Died in Pismo, the guitars do this really cool sliding thing toward the end that really make the ensemble pop out, and it was really impressively put together. In track 10, A Song About Mother 3, Emiliano delivers his best vocal performance so far. The song feels really cared about and does a really good job of evoking emotion like a ballad should. I wanted to hear more of that. I wanted to hear more of that care and that emotion throughout this album. Based on this track, I know that Emiliano has the skills and resources to make something really cool. But this track is a good example of what the rest of the album lacks, I think. And despite me liking a lot of stuff about this track, the whole gamer gunk commercial gimmick at the beginning and end really took me out of it. Track 11 was a nice interlude. It was a good break from the usual aesthetic of the songs preceding it, which is the whole point, right? And the strumming of the acoustic guitars follows the upbeat at first, which I thought was a really cool compositional choice. As shown, while there were some good things to say about Contemporary Experiences, I found myself frustrated. The abuse of reverb, the cliche and empty lyrics, the strange and abrupt metal-sounding track, Femboy Friday, the lack of variation in rhythm, the lack of variation in chord progressions, the lack of variation in vocal melodies. It was hard for me to fully enjoy this album because of those patterns. Check out this album in the description if you're willing, and comment what you thought of it. Infinite Vacation is a project that I will continue to follow. And Emiliano, I hope that you do keep creating, and I hope that you do keep improving, because this series is intended not to discourage, but to be motivation and support. I will continue to follow your work until you stop working. Thanks for watching, everyone. The song feels really cared about, and it does a really good job of